Welcome back to Sacred by Design with me, Lorraine Youngblood. And this is the next step in the design basics where we talk about how to visualize and physically recognize how we're moving and redesigning our spaces. Two of the tools that are super helpful are painter's tape and cardboard. So how this helps is if you're trying to decide on new sizes for kitchen tables and chair layouts, if you're trying to decide how big of an island you can put into your space once you rearrange everything, if you have the ability and the room to do it, the first thing you can do is painter's tape on the floor, measure it out, lay it out so you can see physically how much space that's going to take, and then how you're going to have to move around. Now, if you've also got the room, a flat piece of cardboard, if you're enlarging something, where you can lay it down on the countertop or tabletop to take up that space that you're going to be using. So if you set something heavy on it or tape it down, however that works, so that you can physically feel yourself moving around that space and then use it that way. There are other ways to move furniture or boxes and tape. They're really just the best tools for laying spaces out and then working in it. Just work in the space for a couple of days or a week if you've got it. See how it feels to move around that space. If you've got the ability and you're planning on moving your refrigerator and you've got the room to move it into, do that. Put full piece cardboards up where you're going to move either a full height pantry or a full height refrigerator where you're going to be blocking off visually something. Put up a piece of cardboard in that space and see how it feels from another room, or how it feels when you're walking into the space to have that there. Get a feel for what that's going to look like and feel like in the space as you're moving around it. There are lots of other tips and tricks if you use those tools creatively. Think outside the box. How can you place something in an area that's going to now suddenly have something there? It might be a little more difficult, obviously, to open spaces up that are currently being permanently used as cabinets. However, if you're handy or you've got somebody to help or your contractor can help you, one of the suggestions I would make is if you know you're taking out a wall or enlarging a space, taking out a peninsula to turn it into an island, and you have the ability and you don't mind the mess for a little bit, that those are things that you can remove ahead of time and then do the layout, the tape and the boxes to fill that space in visually and physically in some way that's not permanent, so that as you move around the space you can tell. So if you're replacing cabinets and you don't mind getting rid of, a lot of what I see is the peninsulas that are removed, or the cabinets over the top of your head, over the top of a peninsula, that are going to be getting removed. If you don't mind the slight lack of storage for a short period of time, have somebody take those down. What is it going to feel like? What is it going to look like? How much light is going to come into the space when you do that? The longer you can work in a space that has some of those modifications pre-made, the better decisions you will make as to what's permanently going to come back in place. So let's say you're talking about putting a hood and arrange back in that space, and you can take those cabinets out and then you just hang something that takes up that space to the height that you're wanting, so that where do you want that hood to sit, so that you're not blocking your view that you just opened up, or letting in light, or however that works. These are the tools that can be used. The more creative and the more ability do you have to remove some of the more permanent objects that you're planning on taking out, especially if you're going to be replacing all of your cabinets. Taking out old ones in advance is not too big a deal, other than obviously the inconvenience of not having the storage inside the kitchen for a period of time until you get the new kitchen put in. However, these are going to be some of those ways for those people that especially have a hard time visualizing what effect the changes are going to make. It allows you the comfort of checking it out before making a permanent decision as to what's going back in. What I find is that if we don't take that opportunity for those people that especially have a challenge visualizing the final product or the final layout function, that that they will stick with what's comfortable, and then they don't want to make any changes, which is sad and can put you back into a space that you're trying to change. So don't limit yourself. Use your imagination, have a contractor or somebody handy help you out, and see how many of those changes that you can pre-make to open up spaces or move things around, and see and feel what it's like before you put something permanent in there. It'll help you answer some of those questions and make some of those decisions. I hope this helped you. This is the next one on our design basics and how to just figure out some preliminary ideas about how we move through this space, what that new space is going to look and feel like. Hope you enjoy, have fun with it, and embrace the mess. This is Lorraine Youngblood, Sacred by Design. Thank you again for watching, and till next time.